Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Middle Age Gaming. Here in Taiwan, it is November 24th, but if you are stateside or Canadian side or wherever, it might be November 23rd for you guys. But we're going to be taking a look at Black Friday sales because they are coming up. So, Phil, you haven't been with us for a while. Would you like to explain why Black Friday is significant for gaming?
Because silly Americans decided to try and force their spending habits on the rest of the world and went, you know what, this is an important day for everybody to go out and spend your hard earned money on silly, ridiculous things. We're going to have 95% offers and watch people carnagely kill each other in a shopping mall to try and get some ridiculous sized TV that they probably can't fit on their wall. And unfortunately, that disease has spread across most of the rest of the globe, and we are now all suffering from this hideous holiday in its forms. But if you're a gamer, you can get on to these gaming sites that all have these 80% off, 90% off, and it will be the same offer again at the end of the month. I think it's the next Steam offer as well, end of November, and then
God
Christmas.
bless
And
America.
commercialism.
I
Yeah.
think that was the best introduction ever. I love that. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everybody has to. I mean, now that's pretty much what you do when you're going through Steam. Now it's basically turned into this process where you go and look for the games that you want, and then just click them on your wish list or write them down, and you just keep waiting for the offer, whichever one comes along. That eventually you go, yeah, go on, I'll pick that game up now. So
And because Black Friday is not enough, I saw that there's even Cyber Monday
Yep.
as well, just to make it a little bit
Yeah,
longer.
now there's Cyber Monday, yeah. Which both of them tend to start on sometime earlier in the week and extend until 2 weeks later or something like that.
And covers absolutely everything, including sometimes, gaming gear.
That's right.
it's the same with like Boxing Day sales now. I've seen places start doing Boxing Day sales on like the 20th of December and things like that.
Your Boxing Day is on the 20th of December?
No, it's the 26th, but basically shops have now started to bring it
Oh.
forward before Christmas just so people will buy the things before Christmas so that they can, whatever, increase
You
their
still have money
revenue.
after buying Christmas presents, spend it here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Korean's in the chat here. He says Black Friday is pretty short this year. Last year on Amazon, I guess it was at least a week. But this year it's only 2 days. So
2 days, you're sure? I saw on Steam it's 24th to 30th.
well, he says
Same
on
for
Amazon.
Epic.
On Amazon, it's
Amazon.
only 2 days. Yeah. But yeah, Steam's only what, 4 days? 6 days?
6 days.
6 days. Okay. I was thinking it was
6 days
shorter for some
them and
reason.
Epic.
All right. So yeah, happy Black Friday, everyone. Spend all that hard-earned cash that you've earned throughout the year that you still have left from
I hope you
over from Christmas
saved.
shopping. That's right.
That you aren't putting towards Christmas, yeah.
yeah, you haven't already put towards Christmas. So do you guys have any games in particular or sales in particular you're looking forward to? I don't think the Steam sale is up yet, right? Starts tomorrow.
Steam, for me at least, it starts tomorrow on 24th, so I don't know for you if it started already, but I already checked Epic store and I saw 2 games which I really want, which are the actually pretty new games, which are the Far Cry 6. I'm not expecting much from this game, it's just because I'm a long-time fan of Far Cry and I want to really see if it's the game too much of the series. And Kena and the Bridge of Spirit, is that it?
Bridge of Spirits, yeah.
This one looks extremely cool and I'm really excited about. So again, that would be game that I will certainly buy and not play until maybe next Black Friday. So
I must have spelled it wrong here. I typed in Far Cry 6 and nothing came up on Epic.
really? Oh, I have it here.
Let's see, Far
Epic
Cry.
Canada. Far Cry 6 Standard Edition, I have it at $66 rather than $80.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, but I'm on the Taiwanese store, so that might be why. All right.
Yeah.
So how much off is that?
That's 17%.
17?
Not much. Not
Okay.
much, but I mean, Far Cry 6 was out when? Like a month ago, not even?
Oh, okay. We have Kindred Bridge of Spirits here. Let's see. Kindred Bridge of Spirits is off by... My internet's a little bit slow. Sorry, guys. All right, and 10% off. All right. So
So, question for the publishers: is that a good idea to release your game just before Black Friday and right away discount it?
mm,
I mean, a lot of games do that
yeah,
anyway. Recently, a lot of games have done that kind of like where if you buy
Mhm.
it pretty much like in the first week, then it'll be like 10% off, and then the price goes up. I think Outriders did that,
Oh,
and quite a
really?
few others.
yeah. I think the idea there is kind of a buying in bulk kind of thing. So, for example, if you go to Costco, right, you buy one potato, it
In
would
bulk.
cost you $1, but you buy 1,000 potatoes and it costs you $900, right? So buying in bulk saves. So I think what they're doing here with these sales is kind of the idea of the market is buying in bulk. So, if we release it at a normal price, it might not sell, especially when it's competing with other games that are on sale. So maybe the idea is, hey, this new game, put it on sale, and yeah, maybe we're losing a little bit of money on each individual sale, but we're just getting so many sales that we're making in the long run more money than we would have if we had released it, at least in the short term. We're making more money than we would have, and if the reviews are good, then that goodwill can kind of carry on into the future and hopefully
Yeah,
lead
I think
to
that's
more
makes
part of
sense.
sales.
that's part of the issue with it, creating the buzz. If you get like
Yeah,
offer a little bit discount 10% and get the people who are kind of like maybe on the fence about it, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll pick it up 10% discount. At least people are talking about your game, and then maybe that'll
right. Yeah,
Do you
it's
think
cascade.
yeah, and
do
then
you
and then
think
it can
could be
become like
like
a thing.
do you think maybe it could be like a safety net? They are so scared that their game are not gonna work so much. They know that there will be discount just a week after,
That
so
that's a
they can.
that's a possibility that they might be nervous about it, but I don't think that's the case with this one because this one had some pretty good reviews.
Oh, not. I was thinking of Far Cry actually.
Oh, Far Cry. No, I think Far Cry. I don't know how well Far Cry 6 is doing, but I mean Far Cry is a pretty established franchise, so I think it's one of those things where they're like, we know it's gonna sell. It's
I think the Assassin's Creed was a bit the same, and the sales started to go down.
that's because they kept
Because it was
releasing a new entry every year, and it got oversaturated.
Far Cry 6 is not that old. Huh? New Eden was
Far Cry 5,
one,
you
2 years
mean?
ago. Yeah, but after 5 there was New Eden, so Far Cry 5.5.
Okay, you knew. Let's see. Let's look this up.
I
Far
played.
Do you
Cry.
think, going off that point, do you think out of interest, it's something I always wonder, will we get to the stage where we have another crash like we had in 1983, where the video game market becomes so oversaturated with all these games coming out that we're just going to hit a stage where these developers just en masse start to lose money?
I don't think so because in 1983 that was Atari who made a lot of super crappy games. The technology was not there, and the games were
I
really
think there's a lot
shit.
of crappy games
So
being made now, though.
of course, but people are buying them. At the time, it was a new technology. Video games were sold in the US. I recall it was not sold as video games; it was sold as toys, for the kids, not video games, because it was brand new market. It was very uncertain. Now it's a very established market 30, 40 years after. So it's all right. At worst, they're gonna lose a few players, but after COVID, how many people convert to video games during COVID? Being stuck at home.
Yeah,
I always think they keep coming out with these like big, big games, big games where you're talking about, Final Fantasy, where you've got these people who maybe will be playing Final Fantasy for the year. When I was playing Final Fantasy, I knew guys on there and they were playing it like 14 hours a day, every day, and that was the game that they were playing. That
Oh
was
my god.
basically their life. And you have a whole lot of variety of these games. I'm sure there's plenty. World of Warcraft has the same, and those really in-depth games, which surely there hits a point if these games manage to hold some parts of their player base where there's diminishing amounts of players to go around. No,
I mean
or
that's
not?
that's the whole thing with live service now. That's the whole idea of live service is to keep people in your game and not give them enough time to move on and play other things. So that's the whole philosophy of live service right there. But yeah, I don't know if we'll have another crash because we do have an indie scene now that didn't exist back then, right? You didn't have these indie
True.
developers and stuff like that, which we have now. So you're definitely going to have something around, even if it's smaller devs. But this is something that's always kind of concerned me with game streaming, or things like Game Pass or something like that, where you're offering it super cheap. And if you're offering Game Pass for, say, the price of 2 games, if unless people are playing only 2 games a year, they're saving money, but that means they're spending less money, which means that there's less money in the pool to distribute among developers. What was it? Outriders, the developers, People Can Fly, have said I don't remember how long back it was, but the game had been out for a while, and they were saying we still haven't seen any money from Game Pass. We released it for free on there, and we haven't made any profit off of it from that. So apparently that deal was not made, or somehow it was more involved with Square Enix and less involved with People Can Fly. And so Square Enix was maybe getting the benefits of that deal, the publisher, but the developers weren't getting the benefits of those deals. And so, yeah, I could definitely see, like, especially if we start getting into more of these, because right now we have what? We have NVIDIA. We have, technically, Stadia is supposed to do it, but who knows what's going on with that. Amazon's supposed to come out with Luna at some point. We have Game Pass. There's PS Now. So I'm kind of worried that we're going to go into this kind of Netflix thing where Game Pass is like Netflix, where it's the original. And then eventually publishers are saying, we're not making as much money off of this. And so they're going to start moving into, like, for instance, Peacock was like, okay, we're not going to put The Office on Netflix anymore. We're going to put it on our own streaming service. Or Disney saying, we're going to pull all of our content off of these other services and just open a Disney service. And so I kind of worry that we're going to go in that direction where we're going to get streaming for a while, and then it's not going to be very profitable. So you might see some people struggling, and then it's going to go the opposite direction where everyone's going to have their own streaming services, and we're going to end up going to be very costly. That's my worry.
Or potentially more benefit. The flip side of that is saying, if you went and got a Disney Plus subscription, you really like Disney movies or superhero movies, then that was the things that you probably wanted to watch. The same if you said Square Enix did it and said, right, okay, Square Enix Pass, you can get all the Square Enix games. If you really love Square Enix stuff and Final Fantasy series and all those sorts of stuff, then you're going to be really, really sorted. So
right, but then you're locked in a box. Like right now, we have Amazon, HBO, Disney, and Netflix. So we have 4 streaming services at this house. So I mean, are we really paying less than we were for cable? Not really?
No.
No, we're not. But to see all the shows we want to see.
How many people are paying for 4? How many people are paying 4 subscriptions?
I would think most people are paying for.
How many do you pay, Antoine?
I have Netflix for myself and Disney Plus for my kids. And Disney Plus is on and off because sometimes my little girl wants to see princess movies for a month and then nothing for 6. So sometimes I get a month after I stop. So Netflix is the only one I keep on a regular basis.
And there's also
I was
Hulu,
Amazon. I used to be Amazon and Disney, but I got my Disney like free, half price or something because of my phone. And then I just watched all the superhero movies and all the series, and then I just cancelled them both, and now I'm on Netflix. So I don't know. I think if you were doing those sorts of gaming subscription services, would you really be signed up to like 4 or 5 of them? I don't know.
No.
Would you need to be? I think you'd probably just pick one, wouldn't you? You'd probably pick the one that you play the most of, and then maybe just buy the games for other sort of things.
Yes, because at the same time as all this platform, you have YouTube, who you can just pay for one movie and that's it. There might be some other platform who just pay just for this one game, and you don't need to subscribe for the whole stuff.
Yeah. But back into sales, Korean's got a comment here. He says, we've probably noticed that articles from developers in the past few years, the only way they even make money anymore is on Steam sales because there's discoverability is just so poor. So, I mean, you have and that makes sense. You have so many options on Steam that just filtering through. If you're a big developer, okay, if you're Bethesda or Square Enix, not a problem. You're going to get recognition. But if you are, a smaller company, I was looking through some forums and people were, saying like, what are some hidden gems that you guys would recommend? And the hidden gems everyone's recommending are, oh, you should play Final Fantasy 14 or you should play Far Cry 5. Like they're these huge games. These are not hidden gems. But then every now and then somebody will mention a game. Somebody mentioned a game called Fell Seal, and it's an SRPG. We talked about SRPGs last week, but they said it's made by people who really wanted to kind of emulate that Final Fantasy Tactics formula. I had never even heard of this game, and I would probably never hear about this game except for this random person commenting on this forum. But if I was going through Steam and looking through the sales, I always scroll through the whole thing, so I probably would have seen it then. So, the only way you're going to hear it is either a random word of mouth or, by scrolling through sales, because there's just way too much out there.
Put it in your hat for next podcast sim. Hidden gems. I have one that I'm sure no one knows, and it's a fantastic game.
All right. Fantastic.
I'll save it for then.
All right. So Antoine's looking forward to Kenna and Far Cry 6. Do you think you're actually going to pick them up, or?
Kenna for sure. Far Cry 6. Yeah, I know. I'm saying this, but I know myself. Yes, I will get them.
All right, Phil.
I know I'm gonna for 4 days. Should I not on the last day? Oh shit! Let's do it.
Okay. What about you, Phil? Any games on sale that you're looking forward to?
I would probably I only really have Steam, and without knowing what's going to be on offer, I'm not sure. Is ours already up?
No, we have Midweek Madness up right now, and we have today's deal, but there's no deal for Black Friday yet. We're gonna have to wait on that. So, unfortunately,
I will pick up Battlefleet Armada if it's on offer, but Armada 2 anyway. I've been wanting that for ages.
Questions. Maybe Phil would know better than us because I have no clue on this. Do mobile games do sales as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Most of them are free, but free. Yes, they do.
Yeah, usually for the microtransactions.
Oh,
yeah. From game to game, it depends. The Lord of the Rings game doesn't have any sort of like holiday offers on. They seem to be holiday blind. But other games, Command and Conquer before that, Chaos and Conquest, they did always have like seasonal stuff on, like Christmas things and offers and packs. I don't know, because we've not got to Christmas yet. Maybe Black Friday is not considered big enough, so maybe by Christmas they will do something, I would imagine.
So it's just the biggest sale of the year. That's it.
But it's a fairly new game, so if you're 2 months in, maybe they don't need to put offers on their microtransactions when people are willing to pay for the microtransactions.
Yeah, I know Guardian Tales does that all the time, where they're like, oh, okay, we have, you pay this much money and you get 1,000 gems, but, now we're having a 50% off sale. You pay half that and you still get 1,000 gems and stuff like that. And they do that all the time. So I'm sure they do it for Black Friday as well.
I've heard that supposedly when it comes to mobile phone games, apparently the bigger the offers, sorry, I dropped my pen. The bigger the offers is supposed to be an indicator of how towards the end of a life cycle of a game is. Because if it's very early on, then they have a higher value of what their microtransaction rate is. But once the game has like progressed for like a year or 2 years or 3 years or so, then they can offer much larger packs because newer players could try and catch up, and older players don't mind so much because they're probably still going to be paying, if they're whales, for those transactions, and they're getting more bang for their buck.
Yeah.
Whether it's true,
I don't know. All right. As for me, obviously I am on the PlayStation Store, so I've got my account up here. So what I've been looking forward to is, I can just hit my wish list here, but I saw that Neo 2 were on sale. I played the original Neo when it came out. I didn't play the game. They had a beta that came out, and they said if you can beat the beta over this weekend, when you finally get the game, you'll unlock these things. And I told myself at the time, I said, okay, if I beat this beta, I'm gonna buy the game, and if I don't, well, we'll see. And I just didn't have time that weekend, so I didn't beat it. But after playing, it's one of those Soulsborne type games, and after playing Bloodborne, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm kind of getting a feel for this, so I might pick up one of those, either the first one or both. So
For
we'll
next
see.
Halloween.
Yeah. That would be a good Halloween game too. That's definitely something I'm looking forward to. I always that's my thing on Steam is I put all the horror games up. So for example, uh, Antoine, you recommended what was it? Araya,
Araya.
Araya, and then when I was playing, I guess it was on the last day that I played. It was on the last day that I played Dread Out 2, and somebody recommended another game. It's starts with an L. But yeah, so they recommended that. So, whenever these horror games go on sale, I'm always like, okay, grab it and save it for Halloween. So we'll see if now. Granted, they always have those kind of sales around Halloween anyway. So we'll see if those games are prioritized or not. But yeah, we'll see what's up there. And I have a few other ones that I've been waiting for. Usually smaller indie games that maybe my students will recommend or something like Amori was a game that a student of mine said, oh, teacher, you should stream this game. You should stream this game. So I have it. I picked it up on a sale. I haven't played it yet, so I'm going to have to play that at some point. But yeah, that's basically, I do the same thing. I just go throughout the year and add to my wish list, and especially on Steam, because I am primarily a PlayStation player, so I don't typically play games on Steam unless I can't find them on the PlayStation. So Steam usually just ends up being a wish list and waiting for sales. I don't, seek out games usually. Yeah. All right. So you guys have any games that you're hoping will go on sale?
I think if I find Final Fantasy 14, I know sometimes they do offers it. I might wait till Christmas. They tend to do like everything that's come before. I
Yeah.
would like to play on the laptop rather than the PlayStation 5, which I can no longer get onto thanks to continuing Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Sushi, which is still being played like 12, 14 hours every day. So yeah, I figured maybe if I can just get it on the computer, then I'd probably get into Endwalker more. But I don't really want to pay. I think I've got up to like Heaven's Ward, like where you could get them for free on all the platforms, and I got those two. So I would need something that included Shadowbringers and
Stormblood.
Stormbringer. Stormblood, sorry. I need something to cover those two, and then I would then probably get Endwalker. But if I don't get those two and I don't get them for a cheap offer, then it's probably going to be affect whether I go into Endwalker or not,
And can you
or
put your
anytime soon.
account? Can you switch your account from PS5 to PC, or do you have to restart from the start?
No, you can switch the accounts. You
Oh,
can
you
they,
can.
they share the accounts. You just have to buy all of the editions again, which is ridiculous when you're paying for a live streaming service anyway. Why you then
Exactly.
have to
Yeah.
buy everything? But yes, you
Yeah.
do.
It's like emulation. Emulation is okay as long as you own the physical copy of the game, so it should be the same.
Yeah, you think it's funny too, because what you're doing is you're buying keys, and if you go to uh what is there, Mog Station? There's a part where it says which games you own, and it's basically a little grid, and it has the games down the side, and it has the platforms across the top, and it'll check off the boxes of which versions you own. And you think if you can do that, how hard would it be to say like, okay, I bought it on PlayStation, I own all versions of this. Um, but yeah, I
That
don't
would
know
make
why they
sense.
do it that way. I don't know if it's a Square decision or if it is related to. I don't know if it's a decision by Square or if it's kind of like the Fortnite thing where PlayStation didn't want to do crossplay, or they didn't want cross. They didn't want crossplay, but they didn't want you to be able to access your account because they said most people play Fortnite on PlayStation, but they were worried that people would buy things from the Epic store using, say, PCs. So then they're like, most people are using our services for the game, but we're not making any money off of it because they're buying everything off of our platform. And so I don't know. Maybe it's something like that where Steam is like, well, I don't want somebody to just buy Final Fantasy 14 on PlayStation and then just come over to Steam and play it, and we see zero profit off of this. I don't know. Or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe it's the other way. Maybe Steam was cool with it, and PlayStation was like, nope. If people are going to be playing on PlayStation, we want to make sure that they are paying money on PlayStation.
Well,
but
Or
Square
maybe
Enix just thought, hey, if people really like this game, then we'll make twice as money because stupid people, will buy it on two platforms. And I know loads of people inside the game, loads of
oh yeah,
people from my FC would have it on both computer and PlayStation.
yeah. I've sometimes debated getting it on PC, but I think my PlayStation's going to be able to run it better, and um, B, I don't need an
and
excuse to get a gaming mouse.
we didn't talk about Nintendo. They don't do Black Friday, do they?
I don't know. Does Nintendo do Black Friday?
I thought
It would
they
it would be
did.
nice if I could get the Pokemon one for my kids.
Let's find
I
out.
thought they did because maybe it was PlayStation. But Zoe was telling me that Diablo 2 Remastered was on sale, but it could have been on the PlayStation or it could have been on the Nintendo. It also might not have been for Black Friday. So it might have just been, it's on offer already because nobody's willing to pay for it.
Hmm. Well,
What
there it
happens?
goes.
Antoine, are you okay? I think you're.
Antoine freeze. Oh no, we lost Antoine for a second. All right. Well, that's too bad. And I just got the Nintendo site up, and now I'm trying to figure out how to switch it to English, and I don't know. Oh well.
You don't just search when I do that on Google, I'll search for like Nintendo Store UK.
I do that all the time as
And you,
well. But sometimes what they'll do is
it
they'll
still translates you.
yeah, exactly. They'll just turn around and say, "Hey, oh, yep, we definitely lost him." But yeah, sometimes they'll just turn around and say that. Hang on, let me fix this here. Go. Sometimes they'll just turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, cookies and whatnot. Oh, you're in this region. Okay, we're gonna default to this." And I'm like, "No, EN." But let's see. Okay, so let's see. Free shipping, orders over $20, shop gifts, 40% off, limited time Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Oh, this is the Nintendo store. This is all physical stuff. This isn't the Switch store. Top games. Yeah, I don't see anything about sales. Oh, special offers.
Maybe I don't.
Online special offers. Nope. Or if they do, it hasn't started yet, so who knows?
Which I mean might make sense. We're jumping the gun a little bit anyway. Maybe.
Yeah, we're here. It's the 24th where most of these sales are starting, but in the U.S. In most of the world, it's not the 24th yet. I mean, it's only 10 a.m. here, so less than half the world is living in the 24th.
Yes.
Okay,
We'll see.
what about
Oh,
Xbox? Hmm? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, have you did you see that they've done a Outriders free DLC update
Oh no, I had not seen that.
with 4 new expeditions and some other bits and pieces, and apparently there is going to be a expansion in 2022. They
Okay,
have
because
come
they
out
said it
with.
was supposed to be kind of like a flat game. It wasn't a live service kind of thing. Do you think this is them kind of moving into a live service model, or do you think this is more like, say, Fallout or something like that, where it's just an expansion?
I think as players, everybody kind of expected it to go this way, and I don't know why they seem to be reluctant to admit the fact that, like, no, it's definitely not going to be this way. It's just a standalone. And then, like, they changed after like 2 weeks. They started posting saying, "Well, we'll see how the community reacts. We'll see what the players want." And it was like, oh, that's such a soft answer that we all know you want to do expansions and you want to become. I think they want to be like a Destiny. I think maybe they were reluctant about setting after seeing things like Anthem, and maybe things flop so hard that we're not going to set the bar here. We're just going to say it's going to be a standalone, and then we'll build up from that rather than it's going to be this, and then they end up having to scale down, I suppose.
Makes sense.
But I've
Yeah.
not really played it in a while, so
They don't do seasons or
um,
anything like that, right?
no, no. But they've just revamped things. So, but an expansion would be quite interesting. and maybe new classes.
When was the last time you played that?
Oh, ages ago. Since I kind of like hit the hard cap, I was doing that they've taken the times off. You know those expedition, the end game expedition things. They've now taken the very end game. You've got to kind of run through the mission in like 7 minutes for gold, 9 minutes, or 11 minutes. And if you longer than 11 minutes, you get no prizes whatsoever.
Oh no.
And it was just a bit crazy in the times. And then I kind of just stopped playing when I got to a limit where I was like, this is just not doable. Well, apparently they've got rid of all the timers on it now or something, so you always get the loot from all of the levels. So maybe I'll go back now that I can just take my time.
So
Because like I was playing Technomancer, so I was like I needed to be behind and I could clear levels well. I just had to be going at my own pace. But the time things, like you've got 7 minutes, so you've just got to like fly into everything, and I just didn't have the armor or the abilities to survive.
But I mean, what if you play with a team?
Even then, though, if you come with like pyromancers, fairly similar, you don't really have the durability to rush through and pull maybe 5 sets of mobs between a technomancer and a pyromancer. You're just getting immolated. But now I will go back. My friend that I normally play with messaged me and said, so once I can fight some time on the PlayStation 5, then I'll give it a shot.
So she's still playing Ghost of Tsushima, huh?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So she must really like that multiplayer. She maxed out everything pretty quick. I mean, it doesn't take that long to get max level stuff.
No, yeah, everything's maxed. She's oh wait, my phone is picking up sound. She has everything. It's all maxed. It's all gears. I don't know what it is that she just enjoys killing people. I'm not sure.
The gameplay is really good. I will admit that. It's really good gameplay.
I suppose if you really enjoy games, you really enjoy them. And she says like there's not much on sale at the moment, so maybe we'll see what comes out the next couple of days because there are things that she wants to buy that she's held off on, and I think maybe she would be more inclined to get them if they're on sale. So I think maybe she's not. Has she tried the new Assassin's Creed yet? I don't think she's tried the new Assassin's
Valhalla?
Creed. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
looking
maybe
at
God of
the
War.
sale here. I can bring it back up. So I was looking at the sales here, and most of the games. I mean, these are good games, but I was nothing that really struck my fancy, with the exception of Neo. Far Cry 6. I'm kind of like, okay, maybe someday, but Tales of Arise, kind of the same thing. Red Dead, 60% off. That
Marvel
one's really
Avengers
popular.
isn't there already.
Yeah, Avengers is there. Yeah, but let's see. Why is this? It only stops there. Oh, here we go. By direct. Okay, so okay, these are for the actual physical games. But yeah, just going through. Here we go. Black's Friday, 117 items here.
Oh, there's Diablo. That must be where she saw it. Top right. Diablo.
Right there.
2.
Diablo
What's the
2
price
Resurrected.
on that?
Right now it's 25% off.
So, did it say how much?
Yeah, it's
Which I think it was
967 NT, so Taiwan dollars, 967. That's a little less than 30
it's
bucks.
just over 30. Yeah, that's not bad actually. That's come down a fair bit because it was like double that when it came out. What's the bottom right, bottom left there? Another Diablo 2.
I think that's the definitive edition or something. This is
I thought it was definitive. I thought everything
this is
came
the
with it.
Primeval collection.
The
So this
what?
this one's Diablo 2 Resurrected, and this one is the Primeval collection Diablo 2. So this one is kind of the deluxe edition.
Okay, how much is the deluxe edition?
It's also 30% off. This one's 1,329, so a little over 30 bucks. About 40 bucks.
I'm gonna have to convert that to British pounds anyway. So
about 40 US. So yeah, it's on sale at 40. So yeah.
Warframe.
Yeah, Warframe always has sales. These are packs though, because Warframe itself is free. Jedi Fallen Order was really good. I enjoyed that one. Borderlands 3
Outriders?
was
What's
Outriders.
the Outriders on there? Is that the main game?
Yeah, it's the regular game. This is weird. It's on the sale, but it doesn't have any percent off. Oh no, this is
sale.
Outriders New Horizon.
Oh, that's the expansion.
Oh, okay.
Comes out next year.
All right,
That's
so I
on
guess
the
you can
sale?
pre-order it. It's on the sale page, but
It's a pre-order sale.
But there's no sale though. There's no % off. It's full price.
Pre-order, not sale.
It's on sale for full price.
I think that's better than the ones where you scroll through them. It's like sale of a game that you really want, and you scroll down. It's like 1 NT cheaper, and you're like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, most of these are looking to be 40, 30, and Metro. I already
New
have
Horizon.
that.
Fancy calling it New Horizon. How confusing is that? Are they really struggling out of names to be coming up with other game names that people are just going to get confused with?
Yeah, there was a Horizon Zero Dawn, and that was basically the first game to use. I mean, there were other Horizons, but that's kind of became the Horizon game. And now they have Forza Horizon, right? And now you have New Horizons on this one. It's all right. So these aren't even all the sales. These are just some of the sales. I don't know. They're missing some of them. But yeah. And I'm always looking forward to. I play Sims a lot, so which we talked about one time where they said your average Sims player is 14 to 26-year-old females. So yeah, I don't know. I'm that creepy old dude that's hanging out with all the young girls, but I do enjoy Sims. So whenever they come up with these sales, they do 50% off, sometimes more. So I might pick up a few packs or something. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, Dead Space is on sale if you guys haven't played that one yet. Star Wars Squadrons is on sale on a bunch of places apparently. So that one actually got pretty good reviews. So I would recommend that one.
Anton said his internet's gone down.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, and also with Origin, you can get Mass Effect Andromeda, but they also have Mass Effect Definitive Edition. So if you're a Mass Effect fan and you want to get it again, or you're not a Mass Effect fan and you want to get into it, now would be a good time because it's going to be on sale.
I think Antoine, when he was looking before, said a lot of the sports things are on there. So he was saying like FIFA, and I'm guessing sort of like Madden and things like this. Did they tend to just do the sales on the previous year's ones, where they're just trying to get rid of them, or do they tend to include this season?
Well, this one is Madden NFL 22, so that would be next. That would be the new one, newest one.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not seeing any other sports games real quick here. But yeah, I think they usually do the current one. Because, I don't think too many people are going to... I mean, most of these games I had a student who would play NBA 2K, and the way he described it was these games typically don't change that much. They're basically just the same game. It's mostly just an update to the roster, and then it's kind of... They might make small changes, but the small changes are mostly just to kind of justify the fact that they made a new game. So they might make small tweaks or something like that. Oh, Antoine's internet provider is down. So it's the whole internet for him. He's not gonna be making it back. That's unfortunate. But anyway, so what was I saying about? I lost my train of thought there.
The reskin of games.
The reskin of games, right? So what he was saying is basically, if the recommendation he was making was just buy it every 2 years, because that every 2 years they've actually made some decent changes because they made maybe two as opposed to just one small tweak. So he was recommending doing it that, and it was a choice of do you buy it on the even years, the odd years, and it was kind of your choice there. So
well, if you're a real football fan, then you have FIFA, and you have two. They have two really big companies that have been fighting for control for a long time: Pro Evo and FIFA. And my friend was saying that if you're smart, the best way about doing it is buy one each year, so you can experience a different gameplay each time. And because you're switching the game, then but some people are really diehard fans. They're like, I'm going to be FIFA until the day I die, or I'm Pro Evo all the way, and I refuse to it's like a Pepsi and Coke type thing. The games are 95% the same. I think taking a shot and a long pass is switched on the games, and that's about it for the control. And you can go manually into the controls and switch those back round if it is that important for you. But you get people who are loyal to the core, and it's to their detriment actually, because most recently FIFA has been. Most people have felt FIFA has not evolved as much as Pro Evolution, which apparently has evolved faster. Which is weird because they seem to go through these phases where one develops much faster over a 4 or 5 year period, and then everyone goes to this one, and then the other one kind of forces themselves to push up and pick up because they're not getting the same reviews. And supposedly Pro Evo is on the rise, and FIFA have gone a bit lazy with the new ideas and the new concepts and the new gameplay ideas. So I currently have FIFA, but maybe this year I will buy Pro Evo. We will see, and then I can see for myself. I know that I was disappointed because I bought FIFA on the Switch, because obviously it's easier if you've got 4 people around. The Switch controllers, you bam 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 bam, four of yous. Whereas like PlayStation, you want to play four players on PS5. Apart from inviting you round, there's nobody else that I know that's got a PS5. They're either Xbox players or they haven't managed to get a PS5 yet. So it's just not feasible to have like 4 people around. So I thought, oh, I'll buy it again, and I spent like whatever $40 on the game, and I'd already been read the reviews, and it said do not bother with the 2021 edition on the Switch because they haven't changed the game since 2018 or 19, and they've come out and said we have not changed the game. It's just whatever their way of marketing the game as. Basically, it is just a repackage. It's a reskin, and the player names have changed. That's the only thing you've been getting from 2018, 19, 20, 21. And in the next breath, it was saying, and we've done this because sales on the platform have not been strong enough to warrant developing a new game. And it's like, but if you are rehashing your game every year, you cannot expect people to go out and spend, oh yeah, okay, well, let's just spend $35, $40 and get the same game with an updated roster and the outfits. Why are we going to do that? So obviously they're not going to keep buying it. So their sales are going to just keep coming down, and then they keep saying, well, there's just not the sales to warrant making the game again. I don't know. I feel disappointed when it comes to that with the Switch.
Mm. But that's just Switch? That's not on across the board?
No, on the other ones, they've got modern versions of them
So
where they'll
weird.
like come up with something new. Yeah, but they keep saying on Nintendo it doesn't warrant us to develop and implement all those changes in the game
Somebody just
because
doesn't
there's
like
not the market
Nintendo.
for it.
It's like I don't like a Nintendo and I want Nintendo to die, so I'm gonna do this and blame it on people.
I don't
Terrible
know. I
decision
don't know.
making.
Because you'd
Awful.
imagine that is the right platform for it. FIFA and those type of games where you can get 4 players or 6 players on one game, that is the platform where most people have a Switch now, and one controller is 2 people. So it's so easy. Even if somebody doesn't have a Switch, you still only need like 2 people with 2 switches or one person with 2 controllers, and you've got 4 people. For me, it's the perfect couch game, and I'm so disappointed. I think that
Mm.
Switch don't provide it for that, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's a FIFA issue or if it's a Switch issue or a Nintendo issue. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're drawing to a close as it is. So you want to get into some news?
Go Johnny, go go go.
Go Johnny, go go go. Okay, so we'll start off with the GTA trilogy. I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not. I'm sure most of you probably have, but it was taken down off of PC. Did we talk about this one last? Oh no, we did not talk about this one last week. So yeah, GTA on PC has been taken down because it's just been so buggy that yeah. So it's kind of weird that they released a game so old and they just updated it and it came out and it should work. You would think so, but no, I guess they built it from the ground up and it saw all sorts of different problems that weren't presented in the original. You play GTA, right? Hmm.
These ones, yeah.
Okay.
Less so the more modern stuff, but yeah, used to. So you mean like San Andreas and
Yep.
what are the other ones? San Andreas. Why's my mind gone blank? Probably because I'm sleep deprived. What's the other two? San Andreas,
Vice City, and just GTA
Vice
3.
City. Really? I thought there was another expansion.
Uh, no, the original three on the PS2 were GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, and then it was GTA 4, and then it was GTA 5. GTA 4 had expansions. They had Ballad of Gay Tony, and they have another one, or was it just the one? I'm not sure. I don't know. But yeah, this. I really enjoyed these games. The only thing that I really and apparently they did update some things because they said they made the controls more modern controls. I guess the old way of doing it was the firing. You know, to shoot your gun, you had to hit square. They moved it to the triggers, so you know, and they adapted the controls so it's got more of a modern aiming scheme and everything. So that's definitely an improvement. I was kind of hoping that they would give you the ability to swim because that was really annoying that you couldn't swim in the first two. You could swim in San Andreas, but not the first two. But I don't think they added that. But apparently, it's just glitchy and buggy, and yeah, so they botched that one. That's not good. Moving on. The only other things, yeah, I had some news about Skyrim, but I don't remember. I have Skyrim listed here as news, but I don't remember what my news about Skyrim was. Uh, oh, was it the anniversary edition? Maybe, yeah. So they had released the anniversary edition. It's on all consoles. You can get it on PlayStation. Even though Elder Scrolls 6 looks like it's not going to be on PlayStation, but they released this one. And they were saying that, yeah, it's if you had the special edition, then you could get some upgrades for free. But if you did not, then you could get the anniversary edition. And yeah, they just keep re-releasing these ones. So I don't really remember what my news was for that. But I do remember this last piece of news. The last piece of news was about Halo Infinite. So Halo Infinite multiplayer came out early. It's kind of a beta right now, but you can play Halo Infinite. They originally said that the multiplayer would come after the campaign, if I remember correctly. They said the campaign will come out first and then the multiplayer come out. Well, now the multiplayer is out and the campaign isn't yet. But this is not the full multiplayer, if I understand correctly. It is a beta for it. So, yeah. But some people were complaining about the battle pass because I guess in the older games, what you could do is, you know, every time you play a match, you gain experience. Whereas here in the battle pass, this time, they have specific challenges that you need to complete. And you only get experience if you complete those challenges. So progression, they say, takes a really long time because you might not be able to get some of these challenges. Just because some of them might be, you know, get 5 headshots at this range with this weapon, you know, without dying. And so just trying to do that, you know, it's not as simple as just play the game and you progress. Now you have to go for very specific challenges if you want to progress. And yeah, that wasn't, a lot of people were kind of unhappy with that choice because it meant that you couldn't really play the way you wanted to play. You kind of had to play the way the game was telling you to play in order to get your progress and whatnot. But then a Redditor went out and looked through all the bundles in Halo Infinite. And Halo Infinite, the multiplayer is free, but they do offer bundles that you can buy with real world money. And some of these are for skins or gear or even paint schemes. And he did the math on all the bundles, and if you want to buy everything in the game, it's going to cost you around $1,035 US. So, yeah, apparently that seems to be the model going for. They're going for the DOA model, where we're going to offer basically a free version of the game, but we're going to nickel and dime you on content that's going to be way higher than, you know, almost what? 20 times, 50 times higher? I don't know, a lot. So 10 times, 5 times, a lot. It's going to be expensive. So, yeah, about 500% more or so than you would have paid for the game. So if you want to unlock everything in the game, it's going to cost you a little over $1,000. Now, obviously, you don't need to have everything. A lot of these are paint jobs and stuff like that. And if you don't want your Spartan to be blue, then, well, you don't have to buy blue. So if you really want to customize your character, then and you know exactly what you want, you're saving money. But if you're the kind of person who likes to collect everything, sorry, you're gonna have some. Yeah, your wallet's gonna be hurting talking about sales. So make good use of these sales this week because you're gonna need them for this sort of content. Had you seen anything in the news recently that you wanted to talk about, or?
I was just reading up on what you're talking about GTA Definitive Edition, and I was just doing a little bit of research, and I came on Eurogamer, and the guy who's reading this, he goes into all of the technical stuff, which I'm just like, okay, I've heard of some of these ideas. Which said Nintendo Switch apparently is arguably worse than just playing it on the PS2 original. It says higher resolution loses higher resolution art, motion blur, shadow under point lights, blah 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 blah. Draw distance is reined in, and he says it means that nothing looks connected to the ground when you're playing on the Switch. And with that in mind, it could be arguable that the PS2 version looks better, where at least there was like a shadow which tried to kind of like fade the characters into the floor rather than them just looking like everything is raising high, and low resolutions in the low 20s and incorrect frame pacing if you do hit 30 fps. So it sounds like they've got some serious problems there.
Yeah, I mean that's on Switch, so that's yeah, Switch is way more powerful than a PlayStation. Switch is more powerful than the PlayStation Vita, and the PlayStation Vita was playing PS3 games, so there's no excuse. But yeah, like the game's just glitchy. I mean, like I said, on the PC, they had to take it off the store, so you can't even buy it. I mean, that's what PlayStation did with Cyberpunk 2077. So I mean, that gives you an idea of how bad it's got to be. Where they're pulling the Cyberpunk move of just taking the game down entirely. Which, yeah, it's not even like, we're gonna patch it. It's just like, sorry, we're sorry, we'll take it back with us. We'll take it home. I'll take my toys home.
Which is you just don't really expect it from Rockstar. It's kind of
Oh,
disappointing. And what do they do? What is the next step? Do you go back and go through the process of trying to clear it all up and spend all the extra time to get it sorted, or at which stage do you just say no, this it is what it is?
I'm sure they're trying to fix it.
I mean,
But
by the
yeah,
sounds of it, across all the platforms, there are major issues. What's going to be the stage at which they go, no, this is what it is now. This is we're happy with this. It's a
working
tough
as
one. It's
intended.
a tough one. Yeah, because how much are you going to make from it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much they're gonna make, which is a shame too, because I mean they were great games, but they were dated.
In their
But
time.
they're still. I mean, San Andreas is still fun now. If you've played it.
But I mean, like I said, I've said this before. I can download that on my phone, though. I can pay
Yes,
like
exactly. You
two or
can
three
download this
pound
on
and
your
play it on
phone,
my
and it
phone.
works just fine. How does this not work on a Switch? But yeah, those are the ported originals. This one, I mean, I don't know. Was this? Do you know if Rockstar made this game themselves, or if they kind of licensed it out to somebody else to do it because they had already done it? Was the definitive edition done in house, or was it they just kind of gave it to somebody else? And kind of like Blue Point does that a lot, where they take a game that somebody else has made, like for instance Shadow of the Colossus, and then they remake it. But then, so did they do that, or did they do it themselves? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But the guy who's coming in here just says like it's so fundamentally flawed from the base level. Um, the amount of critical issues he has with everything. I'm not sure. I'm not sure
He's just a
what
hater.
their future is. I don't know.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh well. All right, so that's gonna take us about to time, I guess. I don't have any other sales that I'm looking forward to. Really, you?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Like I said, I think it'll probably be Christmas. Christmas probably. I'll get in more in the mood. Again, just because I mean Black Friday's really only fairly modern thing in the UK. I think it's seeped over to the States, sort of like beyond the time at which I was used to going out and buying things. So it's kind of a relatively newer issue for me. So it doesn't feel like a holiday time at which I say, okay, Black Friday, I must buy something on Black Friday, as much as sort of like Christmas maybe.
Yeah, I think the Black Friday thing, I mean, originally it was, hey, there's some great deals there, but I think now it's gotten to the point where it's not so much that like, oh, it's Black Friday, I have to buy something. It's, oh my God, everything is on such great sale that I would be an idiot not to get it now. And it's kind of it's a tricky thing. It's a gambling addiction in a way. Like you're just like, oh no, this deal is too good to pass up. And it's like, I'm saving money. It's like, well, no, you're spending money. You weren't going to spend anything, so no, you're not saving money. But you're saving money if you were going to buy it, but you weren't going to buy it. But now you feel compelled to. So. But yeah, looking at
Or if it's
GOG,
somewhere along the
there's all
line, you were
sales.
thinking to yourself, I want to buy that. I'm going to buy that. I'm just not going to buy it at this full price. I'm going to buy it when the Steam sale comes on. They can't come around and then you go, well, I'm going to buy it now because I'm going to save money. But no, yeah, because you'd already set the price at which the sale would come to as the price at which you're going to buy it. So,
Yeah,
and all
that
games,
too.
we know that eventually all games are going to become cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, look, GOG here, 50%, 60%. There were some 90% off. There's an 80 Baldur's Gate 2, 80%. Irony Curtain, never even heard of it, but 90% off. So how could you possibly pass up that deal? I don't even know what that game is, but it's so cheap, right? So I don't know. Maybe it's good.
Like some sort of indie hunter who just goes through and goes, yeah, I'll buy them all, a pittance each and try them all out.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, yeah, I could definitely see somebody saying, you know what, I'm gonna spend $10 US. I'm just gonna pick random games until I reach that number, and then I'm gonna play them. And $10. If I lose it, I lose it. Oh well. So I could definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well then that's it for me. And unfortunately, we can't ask Antoine because he got cut off by his internet. And you got nothing else?
No, I mean, I posted a video earlier today that stated season 1 of Lord of the Rings finishes in like a few hours, like 2 hours, and then there's a 2-day downtime, and then it is back up for season 2. It's going to be intense. It's going to be pretty feisty beginning to the season we're expecting. So I am definitely going to be live streaming. I said for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 hours for the first day. Hopefully when it comes up immediately, but depending on work times and whatever time they decide to come up, it will be as soon as I can get onto my laptop from work if I'm have work at that time, and then I will be live streaming. Hopefully I'm going to be asking Adam for tips and tricks to how to get the text window like this thing here onto mine.
Oh, not a problem at all.
So if people are watching and they are bored and they are loading up the game, then they can be watching and engage, and we'll have some chats, and I'll be offering any sorts of advice that I can have on commanders and where to go and what to do, and just general tips and questions, Q&A. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be the first time I've live streamed any Lord of the Rings. Maybe before that as well. Maybe tomorrow I might try and live stream the game that Korean tried.
Kingdom
Rise to
War.
Kingdom Rise to War.
Rise to
I
Warlord?
will.
I don't know.
No, Lord of the Rings is Rise to War. Yeah,
Oh,
good
okay.
point.
I don't know.
Rise of Kingdoms or something. Whatever the game that Korean is. I have not watched Korean's video yet, specifically because I wanted to get in there and try it, and I'm going to be live streaming that as well onto YouTube later today, tomorrow, when I'm bored on my 2-day cooldown. So I'm going to give that a try, and then I will. Then at the end of trying it out, I will watch Korean's video and see if we identified the same things, and then I will do a review analysis between myself and Korean's opinions, going from what his thoughts are in his video, and yeah, that's my plan for this week.
All right. When with the reset, what kind of things? I mean, or with the new season, what kind of things are reset and what kind of things carry over?
You unlock commanders and you have them to higher respect levels, and they get a handful of points and more abilities. That stays. So from season to season, your base level of commanders slowly improve, and the items that you've got remain from one season to the other. Everything else resets: the map, the boards, your tiles, your bases, factions, fellowships. Everything resets. You can change freely to try other groups, Gondor, Mordor, Isengard. Everything else completely changes. So it's just your characters and your items and your in-game money type things. Those roll over. Everything else is back from the start.
Does the
So
map itself change, or if you already know good positions from the previous season,
we don't know.
you can just gun for those? Oh, okay, that'll be interesting
Not
to
for
see.
sure. They have said between season to season, things will change. They give us an update list of things that will be new, some more units, some more cities on the map. So we don't know, maybe like the location of the ring that you've got to capture. We don't exactly know that, but they have said from season to season there are going to be theme changes. So
Okay.
yeah, could be a different map.
Any you're particularly looking forward to or not looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to it. We're going to try Rohan this season. We tried the Lothlorien Elves last season, and it was tough, but we won like ultimate victory for our group. You had to like capture the ring, capture 20 territories, hold your capital, and get to a certain ring level. So it was a successful season this season, brutal, hard fought. And next season, we're going to pick a faction that's even more difficult to have success with to test ourselves, because we thought we'll go with the season. Like there's like 289 servers at the moment. No, wait, even more. I think it's like 400 servers at the moment.
Wow.
I tried to subscribe my dad. There's like 400 servers, and on like 99% of them, Rohan get destroyed. And have a handful of territories. So we're going to go Rohan next season. They're in a really bad location on the map. They're like sandwiched between 6 other factions. So if any one of those factions is strong, then they pretty much decimate Rohan. So
Poor Rohan.
yeah, we're gonna go difficult. Try it up. Plenty more videos with a different aspect of gameplay.
All right.
And who knows? Season 3, I might even try an evil faction just to have completely different sets of videos.
Sure, why not? Change it up. There's anything you're kind of not looking forward to? Like, I don't really like the idea that, but they're gonna do it anyway.
Well, they've been really decent because a load of people, there was a lot of kickback about their changes. So originally they wanted to have mixed servers, so you could play any commander from evil or good factions, and you could mix that with any units, good or evil. So you could end up with Saruman leading a bunch of Swan Knights against Gondor, or well, not Swan Knights because they're a special unit, but you know what I mean, like Elven archers, or you could have Gandalf leading orcs and things like that. And a whole load of people complained about it, so we don't like it. And we want role play servers. And then when they said that, a lot of people said, "Oh, we don't want role play servers. We've invested money, and we want to be able to use all of our commanders. We've got good commanders, and we're going to switch to evil, and it'll be our disadvantage for those of us who spent money." So there was this tug of war going, and then the game dev said, "Fine, you guys can choose. You can play role play servers, or you can play mixed servers from the next season." And whichever one you choose, you'll be isolated from the other group, and you can play with your own sets of rules. And there we go. And for a game company, I very rarely see them compromise that much to the state where they had a direction, they had a goal, they had an aim, and they completely create something separate just for the community. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and it kind of quelled a lot of the issues. There are problems, and I did a video a couple of days ago, like 7 things that I want in the future of the game. So there are always things, but I always think we're only just into season 2, so you've got to give them some slack. The seasons make things easier because that reset every 2 months means that at least the most powerful players, they're going to get reset, and you're on kind of a slightly more level footing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I could see getting into some of these games. That was one thing that with when I was playing Infinite Lagrange, I don't know how to say it. Yeah. So I didn't have the best position, and there were some people around me, but you know, if so, I was playing it pretty regularly, and then I stopped for a few days. You know, after I did my video, and after that, I decided, oh, I'll log in again, see how it is, and my base was still there, but everybody that was around me was gone. My base was just kind of like I was sitting on this little rock, and everything else was far away. So you notice my guys kind of had to move to the resources, whereas everybody else was like in the thick of it. And I mined my rock out, so there was no value to my position. But the other guys, I guess their position still had values, but they were all run out, and other people just took over that entire area. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what do you do if you come into the game late? You know, it's kind of like, you know, I can't compete with these big boys here. So what am I supposed to do? But yeah, a reset definitely can, you know, put everybody back at square one. And
Was that not season play?
it might have been. I don't know. It might be. I didn't play it long enough. So
I think a lot of games are reluctant. Mobile phone games where you're going to pay to win or pay or invest money, they always seem to be very, very reluctant about the idea of resetting things. And they've got to kind of be careful to make sure that the things that people can spend on and buy have either significant value or bits of it do get to roll into the other seasons.
yeah, yeah, I could definitely
But
see,
you are
like,
right.
yeah, yeah, I could definitely see
You've
what
got
you
you.
were talking about with the you know, if you've played a good faction this season and you've gotten all these heroes, and you play an evil faction, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you got all these guys and you can't access them. You know, it's like I could definitely see both sides. I could definitely see some people saying, hey, you know, this doesn't fit the story. I want to play it the way it should be in the story. You know, so I don't want to mix and match. But I can definitely see the other argument where it's like I've invested all this time and I'm going to start over as basically somebody who's entirely new. So you're almost de-incentivized to experiment and try different groups because you lose everything if you start over, basically. Because you know you lose access to your guys until you come back to that faction in season 3. So yeah, I could definitely see
And
both sides of the argument.
I think there's at least, I mean, like I said, there's like 400 servers. I know of at least 4 or 5 people who are multiple thousands of US dollars into spending already on packs after like 2 months. And that's one server. Like I said, we're on to 400 and however many servers.
What do these
So
people do for you?
you can imagine the amount of money. And our server is not full of whales. There are, I think, server 1, server 19. Those are like the big ones where they look like twice. They probably affect twice as many people and twice as amount of money. So you can imagine that they kind of their last minute change of direction to make sure that they were keeping those role play players who probably fulfill not fulfill but fulfill the community and provide the diversity and probably provide a lot of the players, but also making sure that you keep those whales happy spending money. And I think like this season, like if you were good and you switch to evil or evil to good, either way, when they have special packs, you can purchase the packs from the other side. So you could be good last season, choose to stay good this season. But if you're a spender, then you can just open the packs from the evil and unlock the evil commanders. And even playing good or evil, you still will be able to play with those commanders up to a certain amount. So yeah, I think it will still be beneficial to them next season.
All right,
And they've also released some more commanders.
sounds good. Okay, and with that, I believe that's going to draw us to the end of the show. Thank you all for watching, and make sure when is you said 2 days when you're going to do the live stream?
Game goes down in a couple of hours, and then it's a 2-day cooldown, so it'll be in roughly 2 days and a few hours.
Okay, do you have but you don't know exactly the time?
They've just said the game goes down, and then there'll be a 2-day cooldown period. So I don't know if that's exactly going to be 2 days or 2 days and a little bit. I'm not sure. Nobody knows. They've been a bit tight-lipped with all sorts of information.
Oh, okay, so people don't even know when to log back in. All right. Well, then keep an eye open. I'm sure we'll post something up on social media somewhere or on YouTube or, you know, when the announcement is made so you guys can check it out. And we'll see you all again then. Again, thank you for coming. And I know we went a little bit off topic, but check out those sales. Unfortunately, we're in that bad timing where we are just a little bit too early for the sales to go live, for many of them to go live. But if we waited till next week, the sales would be over. So had to talk about it now. Yeah, just
We either had to do sales we hoped for or sales we missed.
exactly. We didn't have the best timing on it, but that's how it goes sometimes. All right. Well, with that, we will see you all again next week. So have a lovely week or day or whatever, and catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.